Today I'm going to show you why most people fail, and more importantly, how you can be the exception. A lot of people believe that success comes down to how motivated you are, that the people who achieve their goals must just have this endless supply of fire inside them, like they wake up every morning ready to sprint toward greatness, and that if you don't feel that same fire, it must mean you're not cut out for it. But that's not how it works. Motivation is like a spark. It feels amazing when it's there, but it's fleeting, it's unstable, it's emotional. It can be destroyed by a bad night's sleep, a stressful email, a rude comment from a stranger. Motivation is a state, not a strategy. And here's the thing, if you build your life around waiting to feel motivated, you are going to lose. Not because you're weak, not because you don't want it enough, but because you're using a fuel source that isn't built to last. The people who actually achieve big goals, the ones who transform their lives, who stay consistent day after day after day, they aren't relying on motivation. They build systems, they structure their lives in a way where doing the right thing becomes automatic, almost inevitable. Think about this. If every morning you had to wake up and decide whether to brush your teeth based on how motivated you felt, some days you'd probably skip it, right? But you don't skip brushing your teeth. Why? Because it's a system. It's an ingrained part of your daily pattern. You don't negotiate with it. You don't think about it. You just do it. That's the exact approach you need with your bigger goals. Whether it's fitness, career, learning, relationships, you need to install habits and routines so deep that you don't have to feel excited to follow through. You just follow through because that's who you are. This is backed by hard neuroscience. Every time you repeat a behavior, you reinforce the neural pathways connected to it. Your brain is literally wiring itself to make that behavior easier next time. When you repeat a habit often enough, it moves from the prefrontal cortex, where conscious effort happens, into the basal ganglia, which handles automatic behaviors. This is why repetition is so powerful. It's not just psychological, it's biological. You are physically changing your brain to make success easier over time. And here's the twist most people miss. It's better to focus on tiny, reliable actions every day than trying to summon massive effort once in a while. If you set a system to read just 2 pages a day, you're building an identity as a reader. If you plan to write just 1 sentence a day, you're becoming a writer. The action doesn't have to be heroic, it just has to be consistent. When you do this, you shift from pushing yourself to pulling yourself forward. You stop burning all your energy trying to get motivated, and you start building momentum that carries you even on your worst days. But let me be clear, systems don't eliminate all effort. They don't make you a robot. You will still have resistance some days. You will still have doubts. You will still have setbacks. But when you have a strong system, you have something to fall back on. A foundation that holds you up even when your emotions are trying to pull you down. And this is one of the most important differences between those who succeed and those who don't. The ones who succeed design their environment. They design their habits. They design their daily flow. They take willpower out of the equation as much as humanly possible. If you're trying to exercise every day, don't just tell yourself, I'll work out if I feel like it. Set your workout clothes by the door. Put your shoes where you trip over them. Build friction between you and the behaviors you want to avoid, and remove friction between you and the behaviors you want to install. If you're trying to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in the house and rely on willpower. Willpower is a terrible defense against cravings. Build a system where healthy choices are easier to make than unhealthy ones. Systems are what rescue you when life punches you in the face. Systems are what carry you when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're doubting your systems are what turn action into identity, and identity into destiny. So if you want to be part of the 10%, the ones who set a goal and actually make it happen, stop asking yourself how motivated you feel. Start asking yourself, what system can I build today that my future self will thank me for? Because motivation will get you going, but only systems will keep you growing. If there's one thing I've noticed over and over, both in the research and in real life, it's this. People don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they don't know exactly what they're aiming for. They set goals that are vague, blurry, undefined, and then they wonder why they don't hit them. If you walk into a forest and you say, I want to find something beautiful, you might stumble around for hours. You might find something you think is beautiful, or you might get lost. But if you walk into that forest and say, I want to find a red maple tree that's taller than the others, now you have something clear to work toward. Now your brain knows what to filter for. Now you're focused. The brain thrives on clarity. It's a search engine, and just like a search engine, if you type in a vague request, you get vague results. You want to be healthy? Great. What does that mean? You want to be rich? Fantastic. Define it. You want to be successful? Okay, show me exactly what success looks like for you. When you don't specify your goals, you create a moving target. And here's the problem. problem. The brain needs something fixed, something solid to map toward. Otherwise, you'll be spinning in circles, always busy, rarely productive, exhausted at the end of the day, but unsure if you're even making progress. And this isn't just a psychological trick. It's deeply wired into how the brain processes information. When you make something specific, when you create a measurable outcome, you activate a network in the brain called the salience network. It helps you notice opportunities and avoid distractions. It helps you prioritize. It helps you know what matters and what doesn't. Without specificity, your goals are like smoke. They're there, but you can't hold on to them. You can't build on them. You can't win a game if you don't know where the goalposts are. You can't win at life if your brain doesn't know what winning even looks like. The moment you make a goal specific, something incredible happens. You give your brain permission to focus, and focus, real focus, is like a superpower in today's world of constant distraction. Let me be even more practical here. If your goal is get fit, it's too broad. What does fit mean? How will you know when you're fit? When you can run a mile without stopping, when you can lift your body weight, when you have 10% body fat. Without defining it, your brain won't know when to celebrate success, and you'll drift into frustration. Now imagine you set the goal, run a 5K in under 30 minutes within the next 90 days. Suddenly your brain has parameters. It knows the what, it knows the when, it knows the how to start mapping a plan. You've gone from wishful thinking to actionable intention. The same goes for financial goals. Make more money is meaningless to your nervous system. Save $10,000 for an emergency fund within 12 months by setting aside $34 each month. Now you have something you can build a structure around. Your behaviors can align with that. Specificity isn't about being rigid. It's about creating direction. It's about giving your mind the best possible chance to work for you instead of against you. And the bonus is, when your brain knows exactly what the target is, it starts to filter the world through that lens. It notices opportunities you would have missed before. It notices patterns you can take advantage of. Without that clarity, you're not even giving yourself a fair shot. You're walking into the forest blindfolded, hoping you'll just find success by accident. It doesn't work like that. Not consistently, not sustainably. When you define your goals clearly, you create a commitment to yourself, and commitment changes your behavior at a deep, even subconscious level. It gives your mind a mission. It makes it easier to say no to distractions. It makes it easier to endure discomfort. It makes it easier to build momentum, because every small win feels like real progress towards something that actually matters to you. The human brain craves progress. It needs to see evidence that the effort is worth it. That's why vague goals feel so exhausting. They offer no feedback. You never know if you're winning. Specific goals give you immediate feedback. They allow you to measure, to adjust, to get better faster. And here's the other secret. Specificity also protects you from chasing goals that don't actually belong to you. So many people set goals based on what they think they're supposed to want, not what they truly want. And so even if they succeed, they feel hollow inside, because it wasn't their goal to begin with. When you define your goals clearly, you force yourself to ask real questions. Why do I want this? What will it actually do for my life? Am I pursuing this because it's true for me, or because I'm trying to impress someone else? The clearer you get, the closer you get to yourself. And when your goals are aligned with your true values, you don't have to force yourself to work hard. Energy flows more naturally. Effort feels more meaningful. You stop grinding against your own spirit and start running with the current of who you actually are. So if you want to be among the few who don't fail their goals, don't just want more, get specific, get detailed. Make your goals so clear that they excite you and scare you at the same time. Make them so clear that you can close your eyes and see them. Because in the end, you can't hit a target you can't see.